I hope people don't take the comments I said about Kson too seriously. So, we're back again. Time for part 2. I'm not going to waste any time, and I'm going to get right into it. And so, we are now starting the second route of this game. I can't remember this one's name exactly. I think it's the beginning of the Galactic Conquest. And this is basically going to essentially be the same playthrough as last time. The only difference is I'll be doing the hero mission last instead of the dark mission last. So we're going to be retreading a lot of old ground here. I am worried about, like, repetition a bit when it comes to this kind of content, but I also do want to document everything. Oh, right, I forgot about the coloring. Oh, well, I can fix it next time. Anyways, we can just ignore Sonic. Wish I had something to say here, but I kind of said a lot. Like, that's what I mean by retreading old ground. Oh, this line, I think. Yeah, so any of you guys who were upset about the term black creatures... even Black Doom... like, even Black Doom doesn't care. Just going to ignore these guys. I mean, the lasers would have killed them all anyways, but whatever. Faster than the light speed, or not the light speed dash, but the triangle jump. Or at least that's what I was thinking. By the way, I should check and see if... I remember being wrong about this, but... Oh! Nope, there was a key in here. Little hidey holes throughout these levels will have keys like that. Anyways, take you two out. I believe there's nothing but black arms behind that, so I'll just take out this guy. Don't think I didn't see you. I believe there's a balloon here, is there? No, there isn't. Never mind. Oh, we finally get to see this. See, now that I've completed the Dark mission, I can use the Samurai Blade. And the great thing about the Samurai Blade is that it has a little shockwave that increases its range, but obviously not its durability, so it's kind of useless. I don't know why, like, the sword weapons in this game have such low durability. I guess it's to encourage people to use the guns more. I don't know why I thought there'd be anything there. But anyways, yep, you can drive in a car in this level. It's not very useful, though. Also, one thing that you probably noticed is that, well, probably you didn't notice, is that all of the gun soldiers are actually facing in the opposite direction. Or facing in the same direction that you're facing, whereas the black aliens are actually... I'm just gonna call them the Black Arms. The Black Arms are actually facing in the opposite direction. Yep, that was necessary to keep the E10 rating. Oh. I usually miss some gun soldiers around this part of the level, so... Yeah, I don't know why I thought there was going to be anything here. Gotta avoid that goal ring. Yeah. One thing that frustrates me about this level is that in order to complete the Dark and Hero missions, you have to go past the goal ring. Ooh, another thing that I think was worth mentioning, actually, is that this is actually the first game to introduce... Excuse me. I believe this is actually the first Sonic game to introduce skydiving as a mechanic as well. Which, later gets expanded upon in Sonic Unleashed, Sonic Colors, and later games. But here it's just kind of a cool little gimmick. But in later Sonic games, there's like a whole mechanic to it.
Downtown Westopolis has been almost completely destroyed. Unconfirmed sources have also reported seeing a black hedgehog in Westopolis.
Shadow? Deploy the troops now! And if you find Shadow with the black aliens, then kill them all.
But sir, isn't Shadow on our
I
side?
gave you an order, soldier. He's evil and he's the enemy. You can't fool me, Shadow. This time, you're mine.
Anybody who's played the PlayStation 2 version of this game knows this cutscene rather infamously for the abrupt way that the guy gets cut off when he says black aliens if you try to skip the cutscene.
Attention! Emergency broadcast to all mobile units. Headquarters to all mobile units. All points bulletin. Be on the lookout for Shadow, the black hedgehog. Wanted in connection with the terrorist attacks. Last seen in the vicinity of downtown Westopolis. Orders are, capture him. Dead or alive. Out of my way. Coming through. Stop! Don't move, or we'll shoot! Stupid humans.
Very impressive, Shadow.
Who are you?
You don't remember anything, do you? But you will in time. But now, there's no time to waste here. Go and access the United Federation's mainframe. Understand?
Got it.
I still find it funny that Shadow just accepts a mission like that. It's... I mean, accessing the United Nations mainframe can't be that easy. But yeah, as I mentioned before, the GameCube version of this game isn't the only version of this game. This game was actually released for the PlayStation 2 and the Xbox as well. But not for the PC, surprisingly. I'm kind of bummed out by that, because if there was a PC version, I'd be playing that instead of the GameCube version. Now, out of all the versions that I've played, I've only played the PlayStation 2 and GameCube versions. And I've played a lot more of the PlayStation 2 version than the GameCube version. And even I can say that comparing the three, the GameCube version is unfortunately the best one. And I say unfortunately because the PlayStation 2 version actually does have things going for it. Like, first of all, I can't remember if this is exactly true, but I definitely, I definitely remember it being the case, but the PlayStation 2 version had widescreen support, but more so than that, which is, by the way, why this video is more of a square than other YouTube videos, or why the gameplay footage is mostly square, because it doesn't have widescreen support. But also, the PlayStation 2 version also has... Oh my god, Rouge, stop. Ooh, I got a key. I rammed right into that. But one big thing that the PlayStation 2 version has over the GameCube version that I really liked is that it doesn't have the or it has the option to. Well, I needed that like I needed a hole in the head. I'm actually relatively new to to using a PC, so I don't know if that got picked up on or not. But I just got a notification on my computer. I wish I could record this stuff in a better place. But one thing that sucks about the GameCube version is that you can't actually turn on the Japanese voice acting. Now, I'm not a weeb. I'm not really that obsessed with like the Japanese dialogue in specific, but I made the same mistake I made last time. Okay, good. I'm not a weeb, so I'm not like one of those people that's just like, "Oh, come on. How could I have anticipated that?" I was just about to say, am I going to get interrupted again? But anyways, I'm not one of those people that's like hyper obsessed with like the Japanese, like, oh, the dubs versus subs debate. For me, it doesn't really matter. But one thing that's better about the Japanese dub over the English dub is that the voice acting in this game is not the best. I mean, Shadow and Black Doom are fine, but everybody else is kinda, not great. And I definitely prefer the Japanese voices, over the English ones. Yeah, you go deal with that worm. I'm gonna go back to... Oh, come on. Ah! I was hoping I could ignore that thing. Usually I don't ignore that thing because I've gotten all the 5 keys to this level and I can just skip that part. But either way, boom. Yes. I don't know why I thought there was going to be something there. Go. But unfortunately, when it comes to each version of the game, the GameCube version is slightly better. Because the controls and actually overall movement of the game is a lot tighter in the GameCube version, and there's a lot less lag in the GameCube version as well, which probably contributes to the tighter controls and movement. I think this next one, if I just land, there we go, you get a key. So that's 3 keys now, right? I'm curious if one of these platforms has the key on it. Probably not. They have one in every direction. Curious about the key placement here. Oh, come on! Believe it or not, this is usually how a playthrough of this level normally goes. I was pretty lucky. My first playthrough went pretty lucky. Oh, there we go. I swear this is a good game, guys. I'm just not having a good day. In fact, the first time kind of went out without a hitch. Either way, that was definitely not A rank worthy.
Whatever happens to the humans is no concern of mine.
I'm glad that the game disagrees. I hope I'm not breathing too heavily. The funny thing is, that cutscene doesn't make any sense if you... that cutscene only makes sense if you do the dark mission to digital high or digital circuit. I wonder if the cutscene is actually different depending on the route that you take. Because I do actually know there are some cutscenes that actually change depending on the levels that you're in. Anyways, let's just ignore Amy. Ooh, actually. You didn't see that. Unfortunately, when you're running down, like, when you're running up a downhill slope suddenly, the game has a failsafe in place. Yeah, the game's not letting me go back up the hill. Okay. Actually, wonder what happens if I do the whole run. Ah, that's how you get up here. See, this game... One thing I actually do like about this game is that it does have some elements of exploration to it. Even if it isn't much. But it's kind of done out of necessity. See? It's kind of done out of necessity to make sure that the hero missions and dark missions stay consistent with each other. And of course, there's nothing there. Though sometimes they just kind of throw their hands up in the air and just do whatever. As well, so... Anyways, probably deal with this guy first before I start collecting torches. The thing is, if I remember correctly, the other keys can only be obtained through the hero, or the other keys can only be found on the hero mission route.
The black creatures have infiltrated my castle. I'd like you to go and light those giant lanterns. They're part of my special defenses.
In fact, this is one way that the game does separate hero mission paths from dark mission paths. Is that by activating one of those giant lanterns, by lighting up those giant lanterns, you actually create alternate pathways that lead you to the dark mission route, rather than the hero mission route, which is slightly different. Yeah, some crates do that. Anyways, I wanted to explore around this area for a bit. See, I remember the lingering hitbox actually causing those enemies to explode. Actually... I'm gonna go on the hero mission path for a bit here. Huh. In case you're wondering, Cream's in the last one, so... Would have been just easier to throw the gun away and punch that. Anyways. This gives you the dark route up here. And then you get access to a completely separate area than if you were to do the hero mission. See, if you do the hero mission path, the route that the Black Hawk takes is actually very different. Yes, I think its name. Yes, its name is Black Hawk. Make all the jokes you want with that. Actually, I think it's called. Is it called the Black Hawk? I remember if you do the neutral route, Shadow does say something really silly about the castle. Death to all who opposes me, including that door! Ooh. That gas increases your dark gauge. And, yep, that was the fourth key. I'm probably not going to make a habit out of getting these keys. I just remember where some of their locations are, so I wanted to get them while I still can, or while I remember them. Because if you do get all the keys, the game does become, like, some of these levels actually do become significantly easier.
Where are you going? The giant lantern is behind you. That's number 3. More of the intruders are getting in now. Move quickly.
So you go over here, and this is actually a shortcut. But since I've only got 4 of the 5 keys, I can't go through it.
Leave my things alone. It's a dead end. Or is it? Hurry along now. One will be cut. Did you have any fire?
Yes, good, it's still here. Come on, pick it up. There we go. You guys probably know what I want to do with this. If you watched the last video. Oh, that's underwhelming. Oh, you know what? I think I know where the last one is.
Platform in the middle of the room is one of the giant lanterns. Just don't look down.
Don't tell me I made a mistake. Well, either way. Well, this is not a good place either. Or... Don't know what that's about. Yeah, I don't think any of these checkpoints are gonna help me. Yeah, and that's activated, so I can't. Jesus, am I just straight up hooped? How is that there's no torches around here? Oh, yeah, that's cheese. And that doesn't open up.
Where are you going? The giant lantern is behind you.
Yeah, I'm not seeing anyone near here. Guess I am going to have to go to a previous checkpoint and do some running around until I find it. At this point, I just reset the level, but... most of you guys probably don't want to see that. I went through all that trouble to bring that cannon over there, and what I got was essentially nothing more than just a dead end, and no way to progress through the level, through the rest of the level. Okay, well, just another reason why I don't like this level. And the worst part is, you see the torches here. At least this was better than my test run, where I completely went the wrong way. Completely confused in where I was going. I don't play this level a whole lot, or I don't play it enough. Taking necessary precautions. That's what I'm doing.
I'm one step closer to getting the truth from the doctor. I will not let him interfere with my plans.
He has nothing interesting to say. Bite me. You should have put some lanterns in that room. Or not lanterns, but torches in that room.
Another chaos element.
What are you doing here, Shadow?
Doctor, I don't want to fight with you, but I need those chaos emeralds. I hold this secret to my...
Enough of this nonsense. The Chaos Emeralds belong to me. All of them. No one gets in my way. Those who do will be destroyed. So stand clear or I will crush you. Just as I will those black creatures. Now, let me show you the power of my latest, greatest creation.
One thing that's also better about the GameCube version, I forgot to mention this, is that the sound quality is better. Um, like, most of this, when I played Shadow the Hedgehog on the PlayStation 2, most of the stuff is quiet. You don't actually hear any of the machine sounds that the egg breaker makes. In case you were wondering, this is how playthroughs against this boss fight normally go. A lot faster.
Sorry, Doctor, but that Chaos Emerald is mine. Perfect.
Mr. President, there's an emergency.
What now?
It seems as if our ground forces have been able to contain the Black Army. But apparently enemy reinforcements have arrived, and Central City is being invaded.
How? How can this be?
It's funny how calm, cool, and collected his secretary is.
Let me share with your peace and your past. It's filled with nothing but hatred and contempt for the humans.
Hatred and contempt for the humans.
You were the ultimate life form, but the humans feared you and wanted to destroy you. And they did. Now, you must amass revenge on those humans. Unleash your anger and ultimate powers on them.
Back to this level again. I was just about to die within the first 5 seconds. That would have been embarrassing. That's the second... Oh, come on! There we go. Yep. Shut up. Oh, I didn't see you there. Yeah, you can shoot these little, weird slabs. Well, that's kind of generous of them. This level might seem like a mess, but if you... Or this level might seem like a mess at first. This level might seem like a mess at first, but once you... Like... If you follow the paths properly, you won't be able to... Or you'll be able to figure out where you're going pretty quickly. I remember, I think it was in the PlayStation 2 version, I was actually able to activate that thing without... Alright. Here we go. Okay, now I know this is the right way, so... There we go. I mean, we're doing pretty well for ourselves so far.
We are under attack by giant alien soldiers.
I think it actually is just better to go this way. It happened again! That actually went by surprisingly fast. Though I guess compared to what happened in Cryptic Castle, that's a given. Now time for my favorite level in the game, and hopefully this time I'll be able to do it right.
Finally come to realize just how abominable these humans are. It's time to make all final preparations for our ritual. Hidden inside that space-colored arc is the most powerful weapon, able to pierce stars. The Eclipse Gem.
Piercing the stars.
That's right. The 7 Chaos Emblems are needed to demonstrate its full power, or tomorrow's prosperity ritual will all be for nothing.
Prosperity ritual tomorrow?
Go. What fools. Humans created the Eclipse Gem to protect themselves from terror. Instead, it will be used to destroy mankind.
It's funny because he's riding on a black hawk. But in this level itself, he's actually riding on a black bolt. Already off to a great start. Anyways, there are various parts of this level that you can actually jump off at. And what you're actually supposed to do, instead of ramming into it like I normally do, is... You're supposed to jump off like that. But that's boring. So I play it a different way. Anybody who's played this game probably has bad memories with those But yeah, down here, you have checkpoints that you can use. It also replenishes the health of the Black Volt. Though really what I think actually happens is that you just get a new one. But I like to believe that it's the same one. Oh, I didn't know you could jump down there. That little water power-up actually restores your health. Now do you see why I'd rather just ram these enemies into those things? It's a lot faster that way. Excuse me.
The Eclipse cannon is nearby. Say your prayers, you disgusting humans.
Yeah! Curse those humans! Wait.
Perfect.
Arc to headquarters! Arc to headquarters! Come in! Come in! Shadow's penetrated the Arc. He's headed toward the control room of the Eclipse cannon.
Come in, Eclipse Cannon. He must be stopped at all costs. Take him out. That's an order.
10-4. Copy that. This is Arc Defense Unit Blue Falcon. I'm engaging the Hedgehog.
And yes, this is actually a remix of the Gunmobile theme from Sonic Adventure 2. There we go. One thing that I will say about the other version of this boss is that it does make a better use of the particle beam cannon. This one's kind of easy to dodge, if you're smart about it. Yeah, I'm not getting that. Oh. This is funny because usually those fall into the abyss. I hope this is the right. Okay, good.
Energy charge complete. Particle beam cannon, fire!
I was hoping I could find the last gun, but
Cannon. HQ, do you read? HQ! Ah!
The planet-piercing eclipse cannon. There's no escape for you now.
that did went by a lot faster. I think it is safe to say that the Blue Falcon is harder. Um,
We are the Black Ones. We are here to take rule of this planet. Any attempts to resist are futile and will result in death. You humans are so pathetic.
Damn.
As of today, this planet is mine.
You're crazy. We will not.
Now, we will begin to exterminate all of the world's leaders who resist.
What?
the president in Shadow the Hedgehog isn't very bright.
Sir, are you all right? Never mind me. What about the people of Central City?
No need to worry, sir. Orders were issued yesterday, and everyone has been evacuated to the safe zone.
Very good, Commander.
Now what's going on?
Commander, the invaders! Estimated over 1,000 black aliens inbound. They've penetrated our outer perimeter.
What?
According to reports, Shadow's also been sighted with the black aliens.
Shadow? I don't believe it.
So he's finally decided to show himself. Attention all command units. Mobilize all mech battle sections. Prepare all weapons to strike incoming vessels. Mobilize Diablon.
But sir, it's not ready yet.
I don't care. We have no other option. We must protect the President and the Chaos Emeralds at all costs.
Yes, sir.
Shadow, damn you. It's been 50 years. Justice will finally be served. Shadow, I'm counting on you.
I know, Professor. The ultimate life form born to ensure peace and justice amongst all of mankind. Now, I know what I have to do.
And now time for the only deviation from the previous route. Instead, we'll be doing the hero mission.
This'll just take 3 seconds.
And this one's going to be a lot more straightforward.
Hold the line, man.
As the goal of the hero mission is just to get to the end of the level, as opposed to destroying a bunch of machinery.
Come here.
In fact, I believe this is the first mission that I've done so far that just involves getting to the goal ring. And not worrying about anything else.
Stay back.
Black aliens have broken their way through. They've got to be after the Chaos Emerald's warehouse with the subterranean dungeons.
I mean,
Time for a showdown.
yeah, so this is, I think, the first time I've ever teamed up with a hero character as well. So unlike Black Doom, hero characters are actually, will actually act alongside you in the levels. And they can even be played if somebody, played as if somebody uses the second controller. Though it's more of an Easter egg than anything else. It's not really a substitute for actual gameplay. This game does have a 2-player mode, does have a proper 2-player mode, but it's just kind of a VS mode. By the way, you can grind on these. Hold on. That little tripping animation is a little fail-safe. To keep you from jumping off cliffs. Or to keep you from running off cliffs. The funny thing about Rouge's voice actor in this game is she sounds so bored. You compare her voice actor in Sonic Heroes and Sonic Adventure 2, and it's just like...
Everyone, grab a weapon and take your positions.
She just sounds so much better in the Adventure... Like, she sounds so much better in Adventure 2 and Heroes. I don't like her weird, bored voice. Her weird, bored voice. Anyways, I was talking about how hero paths will have alternate routes from dark routes. This is an example of this. This way, you're able to just completely circumvent those rooms with the motherboards in it getting bombarded by gun soldiers, and you can just play through the level normally. Now, I don't know if you still need this mech through these sections, but I'm going to play through it anyways. This is actually one of the many details that I actually love about this game a lot, is that depending on your alignment, you actually do go through different pathways. Which, I mean, is par for the course for these kinds of games, but it's still interesting to me regardless. it adds a lot of variety. It adds a lot of extra variety and depth to these levels that you don't normally see. In games with like multiple different ways of beating a level. I mean, it's standard for games with multiple, like with morality systems with multiple different alignments. But for games with multiple missions, usually it involves going through the same level over and over and over again. Pretty much the exact, going through the same emotions, just doing one thing slightly different.
This is our last stand. Protect the president.
Like, I'm pretty sure you could just... Oh, no, never mind.
Just a little more.
I do find it funny that you can just swing to the left and the right on these. You'd think that you wouldn't be... Oh, shoot. Yeah. You think you wouldn't be able to do that with the, with the way that these pulleys are designed. I mean, you can clearly see that there are wheels on both sides of the wheel. Like, you can see there are two axles on both sides of the... I don't know what the name of that thing is. I want to say gondola, but I know that's wrong. Some kind of thing. I don't know. But obviously, like, the wheels, you would think that with the way that the wheels are designed, that it would be a rigid structure, and it wouldn't be able to bank left and right like this. But no, you can, and it's pretty goofy. Yeah, that's Rouge trying to encourage you to take a different pathway. As fun as it would be to drive around in the armored car. Okay, now I see why. Yeah, that's one point of contention I do have with this game. Is how this game is more than happy to have random enemies jump out of the sky. Out of nowhere. That can break the pacing. That can break the pacing of the level. But anyways, I think we're in the home stretch. Yep. There we go.
I will not allow those creatures to take this emerald.
Yeah, dying at the end of the level there really hurt my overall score. But at least we get to fight a different boss fight this time around.
One chaos emerald left.
You disobeyed my orders.
Well, I told you, no one tells me what to do. I need these emeralds to uncover
You
the
never said that.
past.
Those who commit mutiny against me will see gold. And do not defy me again. I shall put an end to your foolish attempts to defy me, and to your miserable
How rude of you to not let him finish his sentence, Rouge. So yeah, this is Black Doom. The only annoying part about this boss fight is that he teleports a lot. Outside of that, it really is just a matter of just ramming into him. It is also possible to beat him if you have a gun, but I can't seem to find one anywhere. The hero characters always kind of allude to some kind of pattern. To Black Doom's abilities. But honestly, all of his attacks are pretty much the same. They usually involve throwing some kind of projectile at you. And you can usually just block them all by hiding behind these giant pillars. I don't actually know what these are called. Because Black Doom doesn't really have the best aim, does he? Alright, now with the first phase out of the way, this is when things will start to get a little tricky. There we go. I don't know why I saved the gun until now, it's not that useful. But yeah, when you fill up the hero gauge, it has a lot of the same effects as maximizing out the dark gauge. The major difference is, instead of being able to use Chaos Blast, you use Chaos Control. Which is, it's good for speedrunning, and that's about it. So, like, if you want to finish a level as quickly as possible, Chaos Control has some uses. I mean, if he's just gonna stand there... So much for some kind of grand strategy there. Usually you can cheese the boss fight with the gun and filling up the hero gauge, but I couldn't do it. And because of that, I got a C. I got a C for a failed attempt at cheesing. Now time for one of the most confusing endings in the game.
Shadow the Hedgehog, the ultimate life form born to rule all. Power of these elements, to conquer the universe. This is who I am.
I mean, how is that heroic? Like, that's considered the hero ending. That's the full Dark Hero ending. It's kind of weird. But yeah, here we go again with this music. The lyrics to this song are actually pretty crazy if you listen to them. It's probably the only part of the game that really is deserving of the E10 rating. Okay, that was actually pretty good timing. Yeah, anyways, they're showing off all the CG cutscenes again. So yeah, I don't really have anything I want to say, really. CG movie producer Keith Palmer. I always forget that while this game is primarily a Japanese game, there was a lot of there's a lot of Americans who worked on this game as well. See, like, even though Sega is technically while Sega is primarily known for a lot of their Japanese video games, or primarily known as a Japanese company that makes video games, Sega actually was originally founded in America, though you probably already knew that. It's pretty common knowledge. But what I don't think a lot of people don't know about is that this game was actually made as a cover-up for gambling, for Japanese gambling machines. In fact, that's widely often attributed to, like, that reason alone is widely attributed to why this game is considered so terrible, is because basically this game exists for no other reason than just to cover, like, just as a cover-up for gambling, for, Japanese gambling machines. I still really like this opening cutscene. It just looks so cool. I think it's cool. I understand it's to some people they see it as a cartoon hedgehog, but it's like, if you could look past the fact that it's a cartoon hedgehog, it's really cool. Gary Knight, I recognize that name. And there's Sonic and his friends running again while that creepy music is playing in the background. And Samurai Blade is now level 2. See you guys next time.